This is a meeting with my good friend Ella, who we're talking about music. She wants to curate playlists and do like the internet radio thing and some more stuff. So this is going to be fun because I love talking about this kind of stuff. Oh yeah, and if you want to find out where I got this mask, go to I used to hate face masks with an S at the end. That's why I had to put it on there like that. I used to hate face masks.com. Tell her Aaron Hill sent y'all. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah. So
Can you hear good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, I like what you're saying, and I'm really getting the gist of it, and I got some ideas for you.
Okay.
I got some ideas for you. So if we take it back to like the pinnacle of what it means to be a good DJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is one main ingredient need to be a good DJ, and that is to be a good curator, right? A good curator of playlists. So right now, you were saying that you send out like one song at a time, like you'll send out a song.
It started off at one song.
Yeah.
But then in my spirit, it wound up being two songs.
Right.
Because as I went along with it, it was like, okay, so you know that song, but it's songs out here that people haven't heard.
Right.
Or are looking for to hear, but have no way to find them. So it's like I search for a song that will either go with that song, like Snoop Dogg and the Clark Sisters, or the same song. Like last week I sent out, what was it? Wonderful Is His Name.
Yeah.
So the young man that sing it now, his father actually wrote the song for a mass choir. I can't think of the names now because there's a lot of them going on in my head.
Right.
And when I presented it, it was like, you know, the one group that sang it first, or just sang it, you know, and when I looked them up, it was like, man, that his name is hitting with this young dude that won Sunday's Best 9th season.
Right. Okay.
So it was like, okay, that's father and son. And it was pretty cool because he did it because his father passed.
Gotcha.
So he just sang that song. So it was like, okay, people need to know some of these things that's going on, and it's not just a coincidence.
Right.
You know, like who would have thought Bone Thugs and Harmony, because I didn't, sang Order My Steps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did a rap to it. You know, that's just odd to, okay, you think Bone Thugs and Harmony. I mean, I know their songs, so it's like, wow, really?
Right.
You know?
Right.
You know, if you're a younger person and you listening and you thinking, okay, so this is an older song, but it's been redone. It'll draw people in to say, wow, this is something different than what's actually going on now in all the radio stations, you know?
100%. 100%. So here's, with the information as I'm taking it in, here's what I got for you, right?
Okay.
I think it'd be right up your alley. First thing is, I think you need to start a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Right. The way you start a YouTube channel is real easy, because do you already have a Gmail, like just a regular Gmail account?
I got quite a few actually.
So starting up a YouTube channel is just as simple as going to YouTube and just signing in, just creating a channel, right? You don't need any kind of special effects or anything. It's just an email and password, and then just give it a name. You can change the name, so you don't even have to worry about if you.
No, well, the name is going to be is the radio station is God Got Us radio station.
Okay, got you.
You know, so it would be that if I did do it.
Okay, so you should create a YouTube channel, and the main reason for you to create this YouTube channel is so that you could do the number one thing that makes a DJ like a DJ, like a good DJ, So you can focus on curating playlists, right? And all you have to do to focus on curating playlists is just, you're going to be on YouTube the same way like you search for these songs. You're going to just search for songs on YouTube. And have you ever made a playlist on YouTube before?
Not on YouTube.
Okay. So it's real easy. Like, it's so easy that, like, literally while you're watching the video, under it, it says save. And if you hit save, then a box comes up and you can hit create a playlist and give it a name, and it'll save to that. And then you'll start seeing your list of playlists. And so any video you go to, when you hit save, that box will come up, and you'll be able to check which one of these lists you want that song to go on, right?
Okay.
So it's easy as pie. You can learn it in literally 5 minutes, by just going to YouTube and just type in how to make a YouTube playlist.
Okay.
You should do that, because then what you can do is you can sit down, you can have like this kind of flow where you're thinking about interesting songs, you're thinking about all the things that go into when you make your song selections, and then you can find those videos on YouTube. You could save it and put them all in a playlist, which is basically like a mix. And then you can send those mixes out, and you can curate playlists for days, because you'll be thinking of all kinds of themes, all kinds of, like, whether it's seasonal or whether it has something to do with a particular characteristic, a particular emotion, a topic, right? And you can sit on YouTube on your phone wherever you are, with no inconvenience, and just search out videos and add them to this playlist or to these playlists. Then you would name those playlists, and then you would start sending those playlists out for people for whatever you're trying to get across to them as far as with that theme. The reason why people are going to appreciate it is because, in the same way like they appreciate your songs now, people appreciate somebody else thinking about a theme for them, and then all they got to do is just hit play and just enjoy it. You can make playlists for morning time, meditation, all the way to party time, praise at night, like
Right.
whatever.
Right.
And here's the best part about it. You don't have to spend one dime to do it, and you don't have to worry about anything as far as copyright or anything, because all you're doing is just using the videos that's out there, and you're not replaying the stuff anywhere. People are hitting play and playing it themselves.
Okay.
That one concept right there it can actually fuel everything else, because, again, you'll be known as the person that people just look for, that playlist, to feed them in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's already on YouTube, so it's nothing for them to do that. Then that will make people go to those playlists. They can save the playlist too, and then you just become a curator for people in the same way that you have been, but you can do it on a scale from everything from one song all the way to a hour's worth of music. Like, when you make a playlist, the playlist can be however many videos you want.
Okay.
So you could build a playlist. That's another concept. You could build playlists around time. You could select enough music to cover half an hour. You could select for an hour. You can call it hour of worship. Like, you can it literally, the limits is your creativity. But the beautiful part is you're working with materials where you don't have to worry about anything legal or illegal at
Okay.
all.
Okay.
All
Okay.
these playlists were saved to your channel. And so when a person comes to your channel, up the top where it says home and videos, there's one tab that says playlist. When they click on that, then they're going to see this whole page, because you're going to just keep doing it. They're going to see this whole page of playlists with names on it that all relate to particular things. So it's like you're creating your own huge library without having to pay for anything or own anything or ask permission for anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's one huge idea that
That sounds good, because the
yeah.
songs. I mean, I know you can relate to this. The songs just, now that
Yeah.
I've started, they just come, and it's like I'm making a list for next Sunday. I'm already got it. What I'm
Right.
what I'm gonna send out and everything. So yeah, that's a great idea to be able to
Yeah.
just, when it comes, just let me just
Yeah.
put this in there. Yeah. So okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the first thing you should do. The second thing that you should do to pair with that is you should start a podcast yesterday. All right. Now, what I mean by start a podcast is that right here, the phone that you have in your hand is all you need for this podcast. You don't need any technical equipment, no studios, no microphones, no mixes, none of that. I have made over 260, between 260 and 270 podcasts in the last 2 years, right here, just using the phone, speaking right into the phone. I got, in addition to just using the phone's mic, which is really, really good, and it's better than any quality of old tape recorders and all of that kind of stuff. In addition to that, I grabbed a little microphone that you can add, and whether you have Android or iPhone, that would be your one investment, not one that you need in order to get started. It would just be like down the road or at some point when it makes sense, right? But you could do your whole podcast on your phone. And the reason why I say start a podcast is because when you create these YouTube playlists, your one way of communication right now is text. That's a good thing because of the fact that when you text a playlist, people just hit one thing. It's not a whole bunch of information. They hit one thing and then they go into your experience. So you can win with that as long as you continue to just practice sensitivity when it comes to texting, just because that's like the most sensitive place, and it's easy to irritate people, easy to be a little bit too much, right?
Yeah, too much. Yeah.
So as long as that part, you're mindful of your concept. I mean, like you literally with the right kind of with the right kind of approach and the right kind of mindfulness, you could literally be like the burst of fresh air for people when they just hear that text, and when it's just this YouTube playlist that takes them into this land of bliss as far as whatever you're conveying musically. And people are not going to say no to music suggestions, because it's one of the most engaging and freeing things. And when somebody else curates an experience for you, then it allows you to just enjoy. You're in the entertainment field.
Right.
So the podcast, the reason why I add the podcast is because your only form of communication right now is text, but you want to add one other form of communication to that where people can actually experience you, even in the way I've been experiencing you just now. Like when you went through your process as far as why you pick what songs and what you're feeling and that kind of thing, that's the part that you want to add to this equation, so that you add the personality to the playlist. You add the personality to these beautiful curated playlists. And the easy way for you to do that is with a podcast on your phone, because you pretty much can just talk straight into your phone, and just you can talk about like what you're thinking about as you pick these songs, why certain songs mean to you, who's your favorite artist, and why have you heard this song, blah blah blah. List goes on and on and on, right?
And actually, not to cut you off, but I am doing that in text wise, putting my views, my my mind in the text. Because my sister said, you worded it, she's a teacher. So she said, you worded a couple things wrong. I was like, what?
Right. And the good part is you never have to worry about that, because people hear your heart over your vernaculars. I mean, your vocabulary, as far as how people hear your heart. So they don't even, but that's a good thing that you've been doing that. So now this takes it to the next level, because what you're going to find about podcasts is that they're very attractive because it's passive listening. People don't have to stop everything else they're doing in order to tune in, right? That's why radio is so popular, because you can listen to radio and be working out or be driving or be dancing and focus on the music. So being a podcaster, you already fall into a field that works to your benefit. The other thing that makes it really good is if you have any issues with being on camera, you don't have to worry about it, because this is just voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just voice, right?
Okay.
And then if you can think about it, like when you do a podcast, now it's about intimacy. It's just about you being yourself. Just, it doesn't have to be programmed. You don't have to say, hey, this is the Ellis. Like none of that. It's just a natural flow, right? People just appreciate the heartfelt, warm communication. one of the things that I'm a prescribe to you as like homework, so to speak, is I'm gonna send you my podcast right after this, and all I want you to do for the next 7 days is just at least listen to it like some of it a day. Maybe listen to one episode a day at some point in your passing.
Okay.
And yeah, and you'll get the feel. And basically the way I'm approaching it is the same way you want to approach it, where it's just relaxed, the communication is there, and you don't feel like you're overproducing. You're just relaxing. Because
Right.
that's the piece that allows you to connect with people when they just feel like, yeah, this is Ella, this is my homegirl, this is the one I know, right?
Right. And that's the way I wanted to come out. Yeah.
Yeah. So so you take your thoughts that you've been printing to the next level by doing this, and then you get a chance to add that other part to the equation where the music is already good by itself, but the only thing better is when you have somebody talking to you about why they made the choice that they did. So then when then you look forward to the play, and when you're listening to it, that has already impacted you, so you have a deeper experience of it. So you get a chance to make that connection, honestly, and build that, and that relationship that you build with people there is going to make your playlist go farther, because now it's a personality along with beautiful music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
The podcast is as easy as you know how to use the notes app on your phone, right? Where you just
Yeah.
open up. It's literally just that. You literally open the app up. You hit record on that. Matter of fact, let me see something. Can I share my screen? Oh yeah, I can share my screen. All right, let me see something. I'm gonna see if I can do this real quick.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Start recording. Okay. Screen. All right, how to go to my screen? Photos. No, I don't want to go to photos. Oh, I thought I could. Oh, it only allows me to share my photos. Okay, so I thought I could share my background screen,
Oh, okay.
um, but Anchor is an app where you just literally open it up and it's just a big red record button right there,
Okay. Okay.
right? You hit it and then boom, you in. When you
Okay.
finish, you literally finish, you name it. If you decided you wanted to edit like the front or the back or whatever to trim it up, you could, and you name it. And literally after that, when you're ready, you hit publish, and it's out in every platform. The Apple, the
Wow.
Amazons, it's everywhere. And
Everywhere.
this is how much it costs.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
It costs nothing,
Nothing.
yo.
Okay. I like stuff
Yep.
like that.
That will I've created over 250 podcasts because it's so convenient that I'm just able to do it on the fly. And when you get it in your head that you're just when you go in, it's just like you're talking to friends, just like how you're talking to me. It's just that you want to just be that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you develop a relationship with it where when you just have spontaneous thoughts. I mean, you'll hear a song in the car and you'll just hit record and be like,
Yeah.
y'all heard that new song? Like, wow, wow, wow. But you'll
Right.
be having people that are really engaged in it, and then they'll be looking forward to your playlist, and those will be the two things that I would like prescribe for you,
Okay.
because there's so much you can do with that.
Right. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I'm really hoping. I really want to bridge the gap
right.
between us who are older and the younger generation, because it's so much that we miss in there, and music actually will bring it together in a sense. That's
You're
what I'm
right.
hoping.
It
You know,
is. It's the language to the
because
people.
when I put Snoop Dogg on there, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get some grief off it, because it's Snoop
Yeah,
Dogg.
yeah.
It was a clean
Right.
version, but he still had some stuff he was saying in there. But and I put it on, and what I typed in the text was, okay, it's listen with an open mind.
Right.
It's gonna be some harsh stuff said, but
Right.
the point is still the same.
The
It's
punch
telling you
does
how to
say.
live your life.
Yes.
So and it was like, and when Reverend Burnett came in, she chimed in. She was like, that was amazing. I never even thought, so it was just like, okay. So once I got that from her, it was like, okay, so, because I play stuff at church.
Right.
And out the blue, whatever I'm feeling, and it doesn't matter if it's gospel or not. It's just whatever it is. But so that's to bring the younger people to church, because I don't want to listen to that old music all the time.
All the time,
Some of them songs I'll be like, really, y'all? Where did y'all find? Because I didn't grow up in church, so some of the songs, even the ones that are really popular that I'm hearing now, I heard at church. So it's like, and I just started going to church about maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah. So it's like some of that stuff, you almost like, wherever y'all found this, y'all should have left it right there.
Yes. Yes. I mean, like, really? How is y'all worshiping God with that song? Really? So you know how I'm feeling. So it's like, I feel that way. A 20-year-old is going to feel like, really, and
that's
y'all
exactly
trying to keep me here in the church. So I'm like, okay.
This is why I'm excited to hear this, and it's beautiful hearing your passion about it. And this is why I'm mentioning what I'm mentioning, because everything, like as you even listen back to this conversation, you're gonna see it. You're gonna imagine, like, basically in a nutshell, you're able to share all these thoughts through your podcast. And honestly, this is the thing that's gonna allow people to appreciate the music even more, because they can understand. Then you take it a step farther. I'll give you a few more pieces. So you have the monologue where you're just sharing, just what's on your mind. Then you have the ability, and this is me telling you what, like, even with this app, what you can do. Then you have the ability one day to just call Reverend Burnett on the phone and actually and just have a conversation about it. And it's recorded straight to your podcast.
Okay.
You can holler at me on the phone and do an interview just about, like, music, and just what I do musically, and then how you feel about me, blah blah blah.
Right.
And so this would extend from monologues to dialogues, where you're interviewing artists.
Right.
And the sky is really, really the limit, for you with that. So the only two things you really need to do from here is, number one, go to YouTube and type in how to make YouTube playlists, right?
Okay.
And so you can learn how to do that. And then the second thing is, on YouTube, download Anchor to your phone. Anchor is the name of the podcasting app. Download that to your phone and just start playing with it, and go to YouTube as well and just type in, Anchor podcast, and just watch a video where it just gives you like an overview and that kind of thing, so you can get the whole feel. That's the only two things you need to do.
Okay.
And then honestly, from there, then, we'll start putting the next piece in place where, you start building playlists. You start just getting in your flow as far as having your audio convos and that kind of thing, and just roll in that cycle.
Okay. All right.
Before you know it, when you send out a text, people are going to be looking forward to it, because they're about to come into a whole experience.
Right. And I've gotten
that
response too. Like, one of the guys texted me, and he was like, "Keep it coming. I'm enjoying it." And that was when I first started. I was just sending the one song out a week. It was like because when I sent it out, it was like, tell me how you feel about it.
Right.
Work with it for the week. Tell me what it made you feel, or whatever, and get back at me. Because we love to hear your feedback. We want to know your feedback. Because we love you. So it's like,
right.
this is the station. Like I said, I just love people. It's just like, come on, let's figure this out together, because we here.
There you go. Might as well
enjoy it.
That's it. So I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah,
Yeah, and
you're on point.
I was gonna get with you in anyway, because eventually I was gonna get you, sending out meditation music.
Right.
And I was gonna be like, go get an icy pop. Go tell me to give you an icy pop. No, you can't have mine. You can't have mine. Go get an icy pop. Go. Go ahead, Mitchell got you. Go ahead.
Love the kiddos.
Go get it. Mitchell got it. Go get it. He just turned 3.
Oh man. Yeah, so he like, wait a minute, go get my own. You got one right here. I want yours.
Yeah, I want yours. Yeah.
This is wrapped in love.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like it's been really interesting. I mean, I've been getting some good responses,
feedback. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said this is going to be real good, because then you could also send your podcast straight to the text message, because it's just a link to audio, and you'll be able to really create an experience. So this is good. I'm happy to hear you flowing on this. And so I'm gonna this convo, I'm actually gonna send it to you so that way you can listen back through and and just keep cycling through.
Like I said, I was gonna get with you for some of your music too, because I already got a lot of it anyway.
For sure.
But to use it, I wanted to ask you, because I know you personally. Be like, Aaron, is it all right if I use one of your songs?
And that's the good thing about the podcast too, because with the podcast, one of the reasons why that came up for me is you can work with local artists, and local artists would be more than happy for you to drop their song on your podcast, like more than happy. Right. And all that's a matter of, believe it or not, as far as even making that happen, is literally just uploading the MP3 to it, just like how you would do anything else. It's literally just that. Right. And you're able to put it into your podcast. So essentially, you have a radio station, and I wouldn't even at all focus on playing mainstream music on your thing, because you don't have to. Like I said, with this YouTube thing, you're doing the same thing and circumventing the whole process, where you never have to worry about royalties, never have to worry about all that other kind of stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so where you would focus on that kind of programming and playing music would be all artists that you work with. And so that would be a thing that would start the build, because as you continue to connect with local artists and continue to interview them on your podcast and showcase their music and bring your audience that experience, it's going to keep growing and growing and growing, to where the value of being on your podcast is literally that you've built something where it's like, there have been a number of people on here, so the next artist wants to be on there,
Right.
And so you'll notice, like, that's all the curating of actual music, and that you really need to curate would be like just working with artists. Eventually, at some point, you'll have somebody that's a mainstream artist that's like, that wants to be on, and it's because you kept building with all those other artists,
Yeah.
So you'll never have to worry about asking anybody for royalties and rights and all that kind of, like, now people with artists, especially local, which is why that's the way you want to focus, or not just local, but like the unsigned artists, the independent artists. It works in your favor, because the artists, anybody who comes to the artist and says, hey, I want to showcase what you do, like, every artist is going to say yes to and be excited about, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so that's why you do that. And then the beautiful part is that you're in a niche, you're in a niche with New Thought, which means, you get to tap an untapped market.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's the whole hit, to draw, people to it. I mean, if you're looking for something different, this is as different as you can get.
That's it.
That's it. Just to be free on what it is you want to say or do, and it be okay.
Right, for sure.
No judgment or nothing like that. So.
Right. That's cool. I love it. Soon you'll actually have young artists, like young artists that will want to be on your podcast or whatever, because of how much love you're like showing to them and how much you care about bridging that gap.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's the hit.
so
Because
yeah.
I don't want them to think you only gotta listen to one type of music.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
because I grew up on all types of music, you know,
Right.
from country to jazz, you
Yeah.
know, underground, you know,
Right.
it's a lot of underground singers that's
Mm-hmm.
doing gospel too, you know, it's like, come on,
Right.
y'all ain't heard of yeah.
He says so much more
So
than
much,
trees.
yeah. It's just so
He's
much
like, y'all
more to
acting like
this.
it's that much
Yeah,
music in this
yeah.
whole.
It's a whole
God
gambit of, you know.
damn.
And I know I'm gonna blow their mind the first time I do country because you know people like
Yeah.
country.
Right.
Really, you gonna go there in country? But yeah,
That's
some
it.
country songs be you
Mm-hmm.
know
Right.
they be moving you too. So
So yeah, that's good. So yeah, watch. So yeah, YouTube playlist, download Anchor, watch this video. I'm gonna also send you my podcast to start
okay,
listening to,
okay,
and then yeah, from there, then let's take it to the next step.
okay. All right, all
All
right. Well,
right.
all right. I'm gonna do this homework first. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna just
yeah,
you know I'm gonna put my toe in there. But I
yeah.
know once I already know my mind and how it works, and if I enjoy doing it. It's gonna
You're going
already
all
be
in.
overworked, you know.
Right.
Then I'm be looking for something like, dang, I done said that. Now I gotta find a song for that because I done said it. You know,
Right,
it's
right.
like, you know, you already
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
So
I do. And honestly, your audience is going to appreciate it because that kind of nuanced mind is what's going to make the experience just really, really pop. So
thanks,
you're
Aaron.
on your way.
That's
Yeah.
that's that's an honor for you to say that because I just it was just something that came to my mind and it was like, the radio station. I know you heard me talk about that
Yeah.
years ago.
Right.
But, you know, we sitting in this COVID, and I was like, I ain't got nothing to do. Let me just throw this out here. And I
Right.
did. And it was like, wow, okay.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So cool, Ella. Well, this has been
Thank you.
great. This has been
Thank you.
great. Yeah. So yeah, I'll send you a message with those in it so that way you'll have a
Okay,
mental
cool.
note.
Cool.
And then yeah, let's touch bases.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Ella. Love
All
you.
right, thanks, Aaron. Thanks for talking with me.
All right, love
Give
you,
me
Ella.
the ideas. I appreciate that.
Take care now.
All right, you too.
All right, peace.